So when I was director of software at UserLand Software, I used Quicken's QuickBooks, and it's really a great pleasure for me to be here in the headquarters of Intuit today and talking with some interesting people. So who are you?
Brad Smith, the President and CEO of Intuit, the maker of Quicken, QuickBooks, TurboTax, and all those products you know that help people put more money in their pockets.
Yeah, and I used your product back when I was Director of Software Marketing for UserLand Software, keeping track of the books. I had to lay myself off because QuickBooks told me we're out of cash.
Oh, no. Well, you know, hopefully that's not always going to be the case, but I'm glad to hear you use the product.
Yeah. Tell me what's happening. What is Intuit now? Because I have a lot of people think of Intuit as the QuickBooks company, but it's a lot more than that now, right?
You know, it is. Actually, what hasn't changed is 27 years into the company's life, we still do the same thing. We're in the business of improving people's financial lives and doing it in a way they can't imagine going back to the old way. But we serve consumers, we serve small businesses, and then we serve their most important advisors, the accountants, their banks, and pretty soon their doctors. So that's really what we do, and our products are pretty well known. TurboTax, Quicken, now Mint, which came into the Intuit family last year. We have small business payroll products and a whole bunch of other surrounding services. We're now 8,000 employees. We've got 40 million end users, and we're continuing to grow even through a downturn.
On stage, you're meeting here with a bunch of entrepreneurs who are starting companies or well into starting companies that sort of play into the Intuit feeding system, right? Help your customers out by plugging into your platform. But some of the things you guys were talking about on stage were mobile. What are you seeing happen in mobile, and how is that changing Intuit's business?
Yeah, well, if you look at all these transformational shifts that have happened over our lifetime, or even Intuit's lifetime, which is the last quarter of a century, you've seen it go from DOS to Windows, from Windows to web, and now from web to computing happening in the palm of our hand, and it's basically changing the way our customers manage and grow their finances. So a lot of our offerings have made that transition from DOS to Windows to web. We now have 60% of all of our revenue that is a service, a software as a service or a service like payroll and payments. But we're seeing it increasingly happening now on a mobile device or on a tablet. So all of our businesses and all of our products now have services that work that way, and that will definitely be the wave of the future if you ask the customers that we're talking to.
Are you being used by more iPhone customers or BlackBerry customers or Android customers? Or can you tell me anything you're seeing happen in the market that way?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the trend has been led by the iPhone customers. It's a product that's easy to use, that consumers and small businesses are looking for ways to have an app replace what used to be a feature on a product. So whether it's Mint on the iPhone or it's the ability for us to actually have our small business customers take the iPhone and turn it into a credit card processor for them. So if they're a carpet cleaner or a landscaper, they can literally enter the transaction right there at someone's home and email them the receipt. That has been the leading indicator of where it's going, but we also have our products working on the RIM, which is what a lot of our small business customers use today. Yeah. And also the Android platform, as you said, has just opened up a whole explosive opportunity for us.
Yeah. Mint, why did you guys buy that, and what do you think that's doing for your business?
Yeah, so Mint, if you go back to the history of the company, Scott founded this company, Scott Cook, on Quicken, which was personal financial management. And it basically transformed the industry, and we were able to get a lion's share of that. There were really two major players towards the end of the desktop era. It was us and Microsoft Money. And Microsoft pulled out of the market a couple years ago, so it was really Quicken. But if you look at it, people were no longer managing their personal finances using desktop software. It had been disrupted by online banking, and the reason why was instead of keying something into software, you'd go to your online banking account and all your transactions from all over the place just show up. Yeah. Well, Mint used that paradigm. And this young entrepreneur, Aaron Patzer, who's just now in his late 20s, found a way to bring that online banking paradigm to personal financial management using the web and using a mobile device. So we had our own efforts going on to create an online version of Quicken to do it, and we looked at what he had and we said, wow, this guy has the right engineering talent. He's got a vision that's about 2 years ahead of where we're going to get to if we continue to build our own. And he also developed a set of patented algorithms that create new monetization models, so the customer never pays for Mint, but they're able to generate between $12 and $16 an end user through a whole bunch of lead generation tools that actually benefit the end user. Yeah. So that's why we brought him in.
And we love Aaron. We had him on our show right when he launched his product. It was really great. do you think you're going to use that in any new way, or because I'll tell you where I'm thinking you might be going, but
we absolutely are. First of all, we've brought the Quicken and the Mint teams together under Aaron Patzer's leadership. So he leads personal financial management, and we're simplifying the world for both Mint and Quicken users by taking the best of the technology components and moving forward. The second thing is we're taking those capabilities and we're looking global. So beyond the U.S., we're saying, hey, what are other markets that we could serve these kinds of consumers who are struggling to manage their personal finances? The third is, now think about those capabilities in other businesses, whether it's our online banking platform that we bought, Digital Insight, in 2007, or it's the fact that we can take those algorithms and those ways to save engines and build them into products like TurboTax or QuickBooks. And now we know if you got your office supplies, you're spending X amount, we can help you find ways to save. We think it's a whole new opportunity for us to improve the ROI for our customers using our products.
Yeah. It's interesting because of the mobile and because of real-time systems. I'm playing with a version of Twitter now that is real-time. So as soon as you hit publish on a tweet, it shows up on my screen, and I don't even have to refresh the page at all. I just see it coming through. I was using Foursquare, another location tool, and I'd love to get your thoughts on that. But as I'm driving along, it shows me in real time what's near me and how many people are checked in there, which is sort of interesting.
It is.
And I was talking to a yogurt shop owner who owns Fresh yogurt over in Palo Alto, which is where Steve Jobs buys his yogurt, by the way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool yogurt shop.
Yeah.
And she wanted real-time information about her customers that are walking in the door so that she can serve them better. Is Brad Smith coming in, and does he buy their raspberry yogurt every morning? She wanted to know that on display, sort of like now with the United Airlines, I can check in with an iPhone, and the agent has my name and the information right there in real time. Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering, are you thinking about that real-time world and how business is going to be changed by mobile, location, and real-time?
You know, we are. In fact, we stated our strategy in 2008. We did a look back at our 25th anniversary and said, hey, we've had 25 years of pretty decent success. We still have a lot we could do to be better. But as we looked at the future, we said there were some pretty big trends that we needed to capitalize on to continue to have a good run going forward. The first is everything we're building is a connected service now. Whether it's a software as a service offering, whether it's a service offering that works well with desktop products like payroll or payments, or it's even opening up our platforms so people can build additional services. And then we said there were three trends we wanted to jump on. That was social, mobile, and global. Yeah. And social was the ability to have users contribute value and have the data be a part of the value proposition. Mobile is clearly what we're talking about, and it's location aware, it's highly personalized, and then global is the borders have come down. So we're thinking a lot about that stuff. You walk up into that fine line, though, where you want to make sure the customer is comfortable with you using that information to better serve them. And so that's the place, especially in the stuff that we do with their finances, that we want to make sure that we're very explicit with them and they're explicit with us on how we can use that kind of information.
Yeah. Two companies that are coming at it from a different angle are OpenTable, which is showing me how many, they have a restaurant management system to manage tables, and then it shares that information with a web service so that you can look on your iPhone and see if there's tables available at your favorite restaurant. And Spa Booker, which does exactly the same thing for spas. You know, at the Ritz I live by, they have Spa Booker in the spa system, and they have OpenTable in the restaurant. So I can sit at home and go, hey, do they have a spa open right now? Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down the spa.
Yeah.
And how are those systems? Because those are platform systems that are open now to APIs. Like Apple's Siri, Apple just bought Siri, which talks to those APIs and can order me things.
Yeah.
How important is that to business, and where do you think Intuit is going to make moves there?
Well, I think it's critical to business. I mean, we talked downstairs when we were meeting with the entrepreneurs today, the over 60 companies that are here meeting with us, that the loneliest job you have in small business is a small business owner. They got tons of decisions, often outside their area of domain expertise, and they're looking for ways to succeed. And typically the best advice they can get would be from someone who looks like them, another entrepreneur. So the more open you can make that environment and have people connect with each other and learn from each other, the more successful they're going to be. I'll give you a couple of examples. Let me use a consumer product, TurboTax. We put a live community inside of our product a couple years ago. One of our engineers said, hey, why don't we let customers talk to each other and give each other advice on things we might not be able to do? And now we get 40% of all the customer questions answered by another customer. and it's a pretty cool thing. So that is the kind of ecosystem we're trying to create to help small businesses as well as consumers leverage the power of all this open technology and everybody's contributions.
Yeah. What else are you seeing? And I sense that Intuit's doing a lot of M&A, mergers and acquisition activity, because you bought Mint and some other cool companies. Are you going to continue that in the future? What are you thinking you're going to do with these 60 companies you saw?
Well, you know, it's a mutual decision, but the short answer is yes, we are going to continue to do that. We look for innovation, whether it's internally with our own 8,000 employees spending time coming up with the best new way to solve a problem, or it's externally through partnership, or in many cases acquisitions. The kind of acquisitions that we tend to do, Robert, is we look for companies that have great talent, like mobile talent, tablet talent, SaaS talent, or technologies that are further ahead of where we may have in our own development effort and it buys us time to market, but they tend to be tuck-ins, or they tend to be very adjacent to one of our core businesses. And so we bought a website company called Homestead a couple years ago, and it works well with the QuickBooks customers and our payments customers. We bought Mint, which was the next generation for Quicken. We bought MedFusion, which is getting us into the healthcare space, but it basically serves the consumer who's a patient and the doctor, who 96% of them are small businesses, and they're using QuickBooks, and it's basically a web portal that allows the patient to work with the doctor. So we're going to continue to do that.
That move into healthcare is really interesting, and it'll be a huge business for you guys, I bet.
Well, you know, we got pulled into the business. We originally had a product that did not succeed, that we built on Quicken's code, and we pulled out, and we said, you know what, we can't do this easy. And the healthcare industry called us and said, wait a minute, you made taxes simple with TurboTax. You made accounting without the accounting in it called QuickBooks. If we work with you and give you the data and take the burden off of the patient, will you come in? And so we're now in the business, and so far we've been at it for a little over 4 years, and we like the progress.
Yeah. What else any last things about what you're seeing from your world? Because your world is quite interesting, and you have so many touch points with small businesses around the world.
You know, we do. I would tell you, because people look at the company and they see all the different brands and they say, who is this company, and are they going to be relevant tomorrow? The neat thing is we are an elder statesman when it comes to being in the Valley. 27 years old is a pretty tenured company. We've lived through a lot of transformations, DOS to Windows, Windows to web. We now have over 60% of our revenue coming in through hosted products and now on mobile devices. And we're still the same company we have been. We help consumers and small businesses solve important financial problems. So we're looking forward to the next chapter. We're having a good run right now, and we think we can only get better.
Very cool. Where do we find you on the web? Are you on Twitter?
I am not on Twitter these days.
Man.
I know it. I hate to tell you that, but you can find me everywhere else on the web. And I don't have a problem with customers sending me all kinds of emails.
What's your email?
My email address is brad_smith@intuit.com, and it's posted up on our website too.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Robert.
Thanks.
Take care.